Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist congregation. My name is Suzanne, and I am sharing the life of the community. We continue one more bi-weekly summer service, so next week we will not have a service here, but starting September 8th, we will be back to meeting here on a regular weekly schedule. We invite you to collect and bring a small sample of water from your summer adventures to our annual water communion service on Sunday, September 15th. It's okay if you don't bring your own. There will be some available from the past 20 years of water ceremonies here at Neighborhood. Ministerial transitions at Neighborhood. We welcome Reverend Sally Fritchie, Neighborhood's board. It's like Neighborhood's Board of Directors is pleased to announce we have a new minister beginning September 1st who will serve as Neighborhood's minister for the next 2 years. Initially, she will serve virtually for a few months before joining us in person. Details about Rev Sally have been mailed out to anyone that's on our mailing list, and if you did not receive the info, you can speak to anyone on our ministerial leadership search team, which is Allison, who's here today, and Moira is not here, and also Gordon, who's running the AV desk, to learn more. And if you would like to get on our mailing list to receive information about Neighborhood, you write to office@nuuc.ca to be included. We have 2 town halls coming up on the 8th and 15th after service to present our new bylaws, the changes, and to answer questions from the community. Following that, there will be a special meeting on October 6th, where 2/3 majority will be needed to pass these recommended amendments. If you have questions, you can email bylaws@nuuc.ca. Neighborhood's having a karaoke night to welcome in the new year here on Saturday, September 7th, from 7:30 to 9:30, featuring DJ JoJo and hosted by DJ MC Allison, I think. MC Allison. Yes. All are welcome, and you can bring a friend to come sing as well. Neighborhood's potluck picnic is following service today. That's on Carrot Common Rooftop across the street from 12:30 to 2:30. All are welcome. The Lifespan Learning Committee is looking for volunteers to help out with helping our families grow and thrive. We need ideas, creativity, some digital skills, and your enthusiasm. Whatever time you have to spare is valued. Meetings are once a month after service, and that can be in person or on Zoom. Food and childcare are provided for those meetings. Please speak to the highly appreciative Julia if you're interested, or you can email her at dllnuuc9@gmail.com. Support Grassy Narrow's Fight for Mercury Justice. It's a DMC, Danforth Multi-Faith Commons speaker event on September 11th. That's a Wednesday night at 7 here. Learn about the decades-long struggle by Grassy Narrow's people to fight against the forces polluting their land and water and destroying their health. We're still looking for people to help support our communications committee. Ongoing projects include website, Sunday service announcements, weekly emails, content for the screen in the cappuccino room, and materials like postcards, posters, signs, etc. If you can help in communications, please contact Tony, our president at nuuc.ca. Choir is back on, finally. We start rehearsing again tomorrow, and we will take off Labor Day and rehearse again on September 9th from 7 to 9 p.m. to prepare for the water ceremony service on the 15th. If you are interested in trying us out, speak to me after service. Our services are created by our staff and volunteers. I'm Suzanne Mazars, your music director. Julia Thompson is your Lifespan Learning Director. Peter Marmorek's our service weaver today, and Gordon Thorne is on the AV desk. But we thank all our volunteers, greeters, money counselors, lifespan learning, coffee, etc. It goes on, all the people that help to make this place possible. They're named in the cappuccino room. Pretty soon we'll be adding a minister. Next service, there will be a minister in that list. Our next service is Sunday, September the 8th. Message is the 4, that says adobes, but it should be abodes. Very good, that's me. That's my typo. I take that, I own that. Our speaker will be Natalie Zand. Music is by Suzanne and friends. Our service weaver will be Kurt, and time for all ages with Julia.
Good morning. Welcome to our service at Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist Congregation. This service is created not just by the people who are on that slide, but by the small group that worked on ritual all year, who put together the fire ritual that you're about to experience. Thank you for joining us, whether you're here in person or joining us by Zoom. My name is Peter Marmorek, and I will be your service weaver and fire starter this morning. Today's fire ritual is kindled as we enter sacred space, a fragile space that can easily be destroyed by ringing sounds. So if you have electronic instruments on you or phones, please take this moment to turn them off. I acknowledge that the Mississaugas of the New Credit, the Wendat, the Anishinaabe Nation, and the Haudenosaunee Confederacy lived here before me and are living here now, together with other First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. I offer my gratitude to First Nations for their care for and teachings about our earth and our relations. First Nations used land fires to achieve specific objectives, such as sustaining diverse animal life and plants that serve as food or medicine. These practices are holistic and led to low-intensity, small-scale burns that reduced the dangers of large-scale catastrophic fires. We see now that our government is starting to learn that such practices reduce the kinds of fires we've all heard too much about. May we all learn from and honor Indigenous teachings. Here at Neighborhood, we are open to many beliefs and we learn from many traditions. We welcome all people who are looking for a spiritual community. If you're visiting us today for the first time, a special welcome to you. Please stay after service during coffee time to talk to us and join us for the picnic on the Carrot Common just across the road afterwards. Our services vary quite a bit from week to week, so we encourage you to attend a number to get a sense of what it is we do here. What they all have in common is our mission, which is to encourage, to empower spiritual growth and shared action for the care of our world. Our theme today is fire as a ritual, as a tool, as a way to burn what no longer serves us, and to anneal and join with what we want to bring into our lives. Our theme for the coming year is love is at the center. And in the words of Seneca, the Roman philosopher, love in its essence is spiritual fire. And now it's time to greet your neighbors. After you've said hello to a number, turn to the camera and say hello to those who are joining us on Zoom. And Suzanne will sound the chimes to end greeting your neighbors.
Just noticing with the chair setup, forgot to leave an aisle between the door and the chair. So people aren't able to get to this side of the room. Just something to, I'm just remembering it.
Normally before this, but today it's a little bit later. Yeah, that's the next thing that will happen. Yeah, that'll work. And I invite Joan up to light our chalice.
So I was pondering, thinking it was unusual to have a fire ritual, but in fact, Unitarians are all about fire. We're lighting flames all the time, and this is a original song I put together for today that's inspired by our usual candle lighting for joys and concerns. Today we'll have a special version of that. Speak one's truth is to be free, to cast it loose for all to see. Look inside. How unfolds, that follows peace, to find within our heart untamed, and to feel the wind, to light a flame, to light a flame, to light a flame, to light a flame, to light a
Fire. Here and now, I invoke the elemental force of fire. I call to the hearthfire's warmth and the sun's revealing light, to the lightning strike and the meteor's blazing arc. You that catalyzes transformation, you that teaches the clearest lessons, you that melts stone, I call you here to infuse our intention with your flickering gifts, to call you here to fill the spirit forge, temper our will in your flames, and anneal our purpose with your heart. Candle and campfire, courage and coals, fire, I call to thee.
Hi, my name is Julia, and this is the time for all ages. I just want to start a new ritual. Where I light the lantern. Well, the story I'm going to share with you today is called We Will Live in This Forest Again. And I'm grateful to Diana for suggesting this story and for borrowing it from our beloved Toronto Public Library for us, so thank you. The author-illustrator's name is Gianna Marino, and when wildfires tore through her hometown, she was just so touched by the kindness and love between virtual strangers and how resilient the animals were after the fire. And then there were these words posted up on virtually every telephone pole. The love in the air is thicker than the smoke. Yes. And before the fire, there had been special cameras set up to help people learn about the wildlife in the area. And unfortunately, due to the heat, most of the cameras melted. But some survived, and from these surviving cameras, they were able to pick up on the story of the wildlife, what happened to them afterwards. And several days after the last fire had burned in the area, a tired buck wandered by. The camera picked up on this. And then several days after this, there was a jackrabbit, a squirrel, another deer, a mountain lion, a coyote, and a black bear. It was amazing. I mean, the animals didn't survive, but many did. And with the rains, the forest and the fields began to regenerate again. And it was challenging, but like the animals in the forest, the people found their way back. So now I'm going to share this story with you. And you'll see that many of the animals that she, in the illustrations, I mentioned. The animals that I mentioned, if you can remember, just to try to find them in the story. I looked for them and I was able to find nearly all of them. We will live in this forest again. We have all lived in this forest. Its trees and shrubs were filled with bird song and the rustle of animals. In autumn, the leaves and branches crinkled and crunched under our feet. I used to think this forest would always be our home. Until the day a spark flew across the treetops. You can see it there. At first, we didn't notice. The smell of smoke blew north as the flames began to grow, then turned south toward us. Wind made the fire roar. Fire made the wind roar. Our sky turned dark. I always thought mountain lion was the fiercest animal in the forest, but like me, he was fragile. Before the flames swirled at us again, we fled. Hot cinders spun back and forth across the hills and through the canyons. Wind hissed and roared. Fire snapped at our fur and feathers and hooves and paws, swallowing our trees and blackening our sky. When we finally stopped, there was silence, except for the cracks and pops of fallen trees. The smoke was strong. But we were stronger. In time, our forest will return. The trees and shrubs will once again be filled with bird song and the rustle of animals. And what do we see falling there? The blessed rain that's going to regenerate things. The new leaves and shoots will be soft and quiet under our feet. We will live in this forest again. I love that last image. It looks so peaceful, but it also looks as though it's healing, doesn't it? It has that look about it, the doe. Did you see the animals? I saw them all. It was just I think I saw the legs of the buck, and I didn't see the jackrabbit. I'm thinking maybe it was hiding behind a tree. And then the last picture, I don't know whether we have, yes, so that is a picture of the author, Gianna Marino, with her horse. Her horse's name is Nobu, and they are standing looking at the remains of his barn, where his barn once was. And they're probably thinking, you know what, we are going to rebuild. Thank you.
I invite the spirit band back up. And I invite everyone to rise to sing The Fire of Commitment, a rousing, joyful, energetic Jason Shelton hymn. I'm not sure if the fire of commitment is one of the 7 aspects of fire that we're going to be discussing in the service today, so maybe this is an 8th aspect.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kendrew. I'm a member of this congregation, and I have a few thoughts I want to share with you on the many aspects and the many metaphors of fire in our lives. When I was 22, the house that I was living in caught fire. It started late at night in my bedroom in a basement in London. I had a candle that was burning on my night table, and sometime after midnight, I fell asleep. This was a typical suburban house. It was built in the 1960s, and the walls in the basement were finished in wood paneling made from particle board, just pressed wood, fiber, and glue. And as I slept, the candle beside me burned lower and lower until it slumped over against the wall behind my bed. And the little flame from the wick grew in the new source of fuel, spreading quickly as it consumed all that it touched. The fire got bigger and bigger until it was licking at the ceiling. I woke up from the heat and the smoke and the sound and the smell of burning wood. And in an instant, I leapt from the bed, a panic in my mind, a roaring in my ears, which might have been the raging of the flames, or it may have been my own blood racing. I was smacking my pillow against the wall over and over again, beating flames into submission until just as quickly as I had startled awake, the fire was extinguished. Acrid smoke hung thick in the near dark, and I stumbled upstairs and outside, my throat burning, choking, gasping. I was dizzy with adrenaline, and I fell to the grass in the pre-dawn stillness, catching breath, and I thought of how lucky I was for waking up. And we all know this danger. We learn it as young children. Don't play with fire. Don't touch the flame. And our folks would say, stay back or it will hurt you. We fear the fire because it burns, because it destroys. From deep in our history and in days just past from this very summer, fires have taken homes, lives, cities, whole forests. Our fear is so deep, it is so primal, it's so old, that we project it beyond our worldly experience and into stories of our afterlife. Some sacred texts describe an afterlife where the righteous would dwell in the presence of God, and the wicked would suffer in a fiery torment called Gehenna, a place that is cursed with fire and smoke. The prophet Jesus spoke of a blazing furnace where the wicked would suffer sorrow and despair in pits full of dark flames. And there's the Apocalypse of Paul, a text from the 3rd century. In it, an angel bids the evangelist to come and view the dwelling place of the sinners, and he sees a river of fire in which there are men and women sunk up to their knees, up to their navels, up to their lips, and others up to their hair. And their varying scorch marks indicated their levels of depravity. Those who were all the way immersed in the flames were those who had conspired with one another, plotting evil against their neighbor. There's the parable in the Gospel of Luke about a rich man and a poor man, and both die. And the beggar, Lazarus, he goes to heaven, carried by angels to the bosom of God, while the rich man is damned to burn. In Hades, where he was in torment, he looked up and he saw Abraham far away, with Lazarus by his side. So he called up to him, he called out, Father, Father Abraham, have mercy and send Lazarus to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, because I am in agony in this fire. There's a similar parable which exists in the Quran. And the companions of the fire will call to the companions of paradise, pour upon us some water, or from whatever Allah has provided you. These hellish descriptions, unbearable heat, begging for a drop of water, rivers of fire, these are easy for us to imagine in the here and the now, not as some life that may or may not come after. Around the world, climate scientists forecast with devastating frankness an unavoidable global catastrophe right now. Our planet is burning. My youngest child had a geography project this year at school in which she calculated our household carbon footprint. She asked all sorts of questions. She wanted to know, do we drive a car, use a dishwasher, a clothes dryer, a gas furnace? And in conclusion, by her tally, if everyone on Earth lived our lifestyle, we would need 1.4 planets. Now that's clearly unsustainable. Yet she scored the lowest number in her entire class. The average of all the students was closer to 5, and some of them reached into the double digits. We humans live beyond our resources, and our planet is burning because of it. We are like the fire that consumes and transforms all that it touches. Every year from this 1/4 will be the hottest year on record. Nobody has a right to feel very optimistic about any of this. And there really is a vast unfairness which is at work here, because even the most ardent recyclers with carbon footprints akin to walking on tiptoes shall feel the burn. But here, where we live in North America, as almost nowhere else in the visible world, the lines of cause and effect, of neglect and decay, sin and punishment, they're plain to see. We sow the coal and reap the whirlwind. We heat the air and melt the planet's ice into a mighty stream. First comes the flood, and then the fire. It matters so very much what we do. As we doze, the walls behind us are on fire, and the flames are licking the ceiling. Don't stay asleep.
Good morning. It's time for our communal contemplative silence, and I will lead a meditation. If we can get relaxed and yet stay alert and breathe in a nice big breath and another one out. Joan found us a kind of meditation from many centuries ago called a tumo meditation. And it served to warm the bodies, the minds, and the hearts of monks in chilly caves. So if we could stay in our seat, quiet, alert, and relaxed for a few minutes. if we could take one more deep breath in and one breath out, and slowly open your eyes. Thank you. My name's Diane, by the way.
We love the fire. Our collective ancestral experience beholds it as a treasured friend. It provides warmth, light, and life, a nourishment, a protector, a symbol of our faith, a metaphor for our passion and for our inspiration. And we think we are its master, that we can bend it to our will. We beckon it, and we banish it. But this is just an illusion. We don't control the fire. We don't control any of the elements, not air, nor water, nor the earth. Human hubris may tell us otherwise, but nothing could be further from the truth. It is we who are formed by fire. Deep in our evolutionary history, we learned to use fire for cooking our food. And this was a significant transformation to our nutrition, allowing us to divert precious energy from our gut to our brain. Our intelligence grew, our minds expanded, and it happened because we cooked with fire. With this emerging intellect, we created metaphor. Above all else, human beings are meaning makers. It's how we make sense of this reality. And we've attached a great deal of meaning to fire. Fire is death and destruction. We know that. As a metaphor, we use fire to describe everything from the destruction of property to the end of a relationship, and even our afterlife. Now, that symbolism helps us avoid risks or get too close to something that could hurt us. We also have positive metaphors for fire. For instance, fire cleanses. We use this metaphor to describe the purification of something, everything from physical cleansing to emotional healing. Fire is power. This metaphor describes someone who is influential or who has control over others. And maybe you've heard this metaphor in the news recently to describe Kamala Harris. Her campaign is on fire. Fire is passion. And this one is used for anything that ignites a strong emotion. It could be a love affair, a creative project, or really anything else that someone is excited about. Fire is love. Love, in its essence, is spiritual fire, says the prophet Seneca, the philosopher, sorry. Love is a force that ignites and transforms us on a very deep level. And this metaphor highlights the spiritual nature of love, suggesting that it has a powerful energy, which is akin to fire. And fire is life, spirit, faith. This metaphor celebrates fire's ability to give warmth and light. It emphasizes the importance of fire in our lives and how it can be a force for good. So fire, to us, is a metaphor, at least 7 times over. Here they are again: death, destruction, purification, power, passion, love, and life. we'll be asking you to choose one of these aspects of fire. And conduct this ritual with the intention of bringing one of those elements into your life now. Something in your life that you need to end or to destroy. Maybe something that needs cleansing or given more power than it has now. Or maybe you want more passion somewhere or to love more fully. Maybe there's something in you that needs to come more alive. In a few minutes, you'll be invited to write it down and then to circle the chalice and then surrender it to the flames to be sealed in the fire. A burnt offering is one of the oldest and the most common offerings in human history. It's in the book of Genesis, when Noah offers burnt offerings after the flood. It's in the book of Leviticus, when the smoke from the sacrifice carries an offering to God, a soothing aroma to the Lord. The Hebrew word for burnt offering means to ascend, literally to go up in smoke. In many sacred texts, we are told how people would commonly use burnt offerings as a gift to honor a deity. Maybe we wonder why they would do such a thing, to burn a perfectly good offering into ashes, to turn something life-giving into something wasteful. And the answer, again, is in the metaphor. The ideas of purifying, of cleansing, of purging and ascending. It's an homage to what we seek to experience here in this life. In taking away something that we think we value, the fire transforms us. It beckons us to live closer to the source. The burnt offering takes us on a journey, a shedding of the illusions to which we subscribe, a pathway that is welded to the embrace of life. It matters very much what we do. We practice faith with intention. We aspire to spiritual growth and shared action for the care and love of our world. We offer our own spark, struck from spirit and intellect, to appease the flames and ask for mercy, even if it's just a single drop of cool and quenching water. We'll take it, for we are the fire. Blessed be the fire. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Kendrew, for showing us both aspects of fire. A ritual is a symbolic act of transformation. In the bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, a child is transformed into a man or a woman. A marriage is a ritual that symbolizes two, or possibly more, people joining their lives together. These processes of growing, of joining, obviously started before the rituals and continue after them, but the ritual becomes a moment that symbolizes them. Today, you're invited to share in a transformational fire ritual. It's voluntary, there's no pressure, you may choose not to, that's perfectly okay. If you do choose, here's what will happen. Kendrew is distributing pieces of flash paper to the audience. Using a pen or a pencil that's hopefully in your seats behind you, write down something you want Can I have the slide, Gordon? Something that you want to end, to destroy, to purify, to give power to increase passion for, to love, or a way that you would like to more fully live. If you prefer, you may use your finger to write on the paper. This is symbolism. Or if you're a Zoomer, you can write your goal in the air with your finger. When you are ready, walk once around the chalice. Oh, I thought I was being signaled something I'd forgotten. I can't read air writing in reverse. When you are ready, walk once around the chalice in a clockwise direction and light the flash paper to seal the transformation that you want for. Now, I want to say a few words, important ones, about how to light the flash paper. Do not go up, hold it above the flame and light it, because if you do, the flame will ascend the paper and get to your fingers. This is not what you want. Instead, you hold it like this, light the top, and toss it in the air as it burns. No burns. Then, once you have lit it, walk over to our wonderful collection of drums and sound makers. Choose one that calls to you and join the drumming that will have started in the celebration. For the people on Zoom who would like a flame lit for them, please put your name into the chat and I will light a flame for you. Okay, we will be starting the ritual now.
We begin by circling the chalice once. From wherever you start, you walk a complete circle, clockwise direction. And you make your burn up. And then help yourself
For Veronica. For Deb. For Marg. In beauty it is finished. Thank you all so much. Now it's time for our offertory. Our spirit and our care for this community is the fire that keeps us going. But your contributions are the fuel that we need, that the fire needs to pay the salaries, the rent, all the things that make our community possible. Whether you are online or here in the sanctuary, you can use the link displayed on the screen, which leads to our donation page in our website. In all ways, I ask you to be generous. Greeters, please bring the baskets to me. When the money is collected, we will now pause and the spirit band will play.
Actually, you're all going to play. You're all a part of the spirit band today with your percussion. We're going to sing a chant, We're Rising Up. I'm going to just teach you the vocal part to start so we can all be singing it together. And once we get it going, you're welcome to join in song or in rhythm or both or in movement as your body calls. So it sounds like this. We are rising up like a phoenix from the fire, so neighborhood, spread your wings and fly higher. We are rising up like a phoenix from the fire, so neighborhood, spread your wings and fly higher. And the second part goes, we are rising up, we are rising up, we are rising up, we are rising up, we are rising up like a phoenix from the fire, so neighborhood, spread your wings and fly higher. We are rising up like a phoenix from the fire, so neighborhood, spread your wings and fly higher. We are rising up from the fire, so neighborhood, spread your wings and fly higher. We are rising up like a phoenix from the fire, so neighborhood, spread your wings and fly higher. We are rising
Let's do that again.
As in the beginning we invoked the element of fire, so we have to also say goodbye to the element. Fire, thank you for your flickering gifts today. Thank you for your transformation and your lessons. May the light of your spirit forge be with us as we make our way into the world. Stay if you can, go if you must. Hail and farewell, fire.
My name is Prakash. May the fire within you burn bright, illuminating your path with courage and passion. May it warm your spirit, igniting creativity and fueling your dreams. Let the flames of determination and resilience forge your strength, allowing you to rise above every challenge. As fire transforms all it touches, may you embrace change with grace and emerge renewed, more powerful than before. May your inner fire be a beacon of hope, guiding you and those around you through the darkest nights into the light of new beginnings. Our service is over. Go in love.
Like a phoenix from the fires of neighborhood.